Hi everyone, I'm Mellow the Hedgehog, and reason for why I sound so tired is because I'm recording pretty early in the morning. I just woke up, and today after watching a video from subjectively making Generation 8 Pokemon look like what they could be in 1995, I decided I would like to talk about something that kind of irks a lot of people in the Pokemon community these days. That being the terms of Genwunners. So what is a Genwunner? It's basically someone who thinks the first generation of Pokemon was better than everything else that came before. Saying that Pokemon has just gone downhill since Pokemon Gold and Silver came out. They somewhat accepted it, but said that the whole entire Pokemon process has gotten a lot dumber as the years have gone forward. One of their more common arguments is that Pokemon designs are not as good as they used to be. Duh. Well, it's not like Generation 1 was perfect either. We have racist Pokemon, such as Ludicolo, pretty much being a racial stereotype of a Mexican. Genwunners do realize that there was an entire freaking controversy about Jinx because it had black skin, right? It wasn't from much of the sprites because, well, we just had a bunch of black and white pixels. There wasn't much Game Freak could do to change that. But the anime is where most of that controversy came from because it looked like a person doing blackface, which is a big cultural no-no here. While Jinx was supposed to, be based off of a style from Japan, where there's like tanned skin, big lips, and such. The controversy got so bad that when they released in color, they had to change Jinx's skin color to avoid any more controversy. Even in the first Pokemon seasons and series, they removed any episodes that had Jinx in it. Pokemon designs are getting more lazy. We are aware that there were also lazy design choices back in Generation 1. One of the more common ones is like Corphish being pretty boring to look at. We also have like number one Pokemon everyone wants to point out for bad designs being Garbodor and Trubbish. Oh, because they were based off of literal garbage. We are aware that the Unova region where these two Pokemon were introduced was based off of an eastern portion of the USA. In large major cities, there is going to be garbage everywhere. I am not entirely sure how to take this because I actually do like Garbodor and Trubbish. I think they're kind of cute. Well, Garbodor's not cute, but I think he's a tank. I would use one on my team if I could. So, what are other examples in Generation 1 that could be considered lazy and boring designs? Well, for one, we have Geodude that is just literally a floating rock with arms. Onyx that is just a pile of rocks topped on top of each other. Voltorb and Electro that just look like they're Pokeballs with eyes drawn on them, and the evolution was just flipped around before putting the eyes on. Coffin. It's literally supposed to represent air pollution as well as wheezing. Muck and Grimer. They are land pollution. They are literal piles of sludge. That's a pretty lazy design. We have Krabby. It's just a literal crab. It's boring. So if you want to complain about Corphish, Go and put your complaints in Generation 1 about Krabby and Kingler, because they're just literal crabs. And the birds, they're just birds. They're just birds. People say that P-Dove was born. Well, it kind of was, but Pidgey could fall under that whole entire thing too, since it looks like a complete bird too. And we are aware that P-Dove is based off of pigeons, correct? It just seems like Genwunners are not really ready to accept the fact that Pokemon is constantly evolving in the real world as well as it is in the game world. A PokeTuber by the name of the Oron Guardian even released a video stating 10 things that can make a Genwunner, such as not using running shoes. You have to constantly walk everywhere. Can't use a bicycle either, apparently. Because the guy that sells them in the first game sells them for a stupid amount of money. $100,000 I'd accept, but like over $1 million. No thank you. I think I'd rather get my bike for free. Or get running shoes to get to places quicker. Or run into wild Pokemon quicker. For that matter. Also, with Generation 6 introduced to the Fairy type, Genwunners just decided to completely ignore it. Guys, you do realize that Dragon types were pretty much one of the most tanked Pokemon. And Dragon types were weak against themselves. How does that make any sense? How does a Dragon type get weak against its own typing? The only type that you could even obtain for a chance to beat Lance is an Ice type, or a Pokemon that can learn an Ice type move. I don't understand. I think Fairy type was a good introduction, and it gave us another Pokemon that Dragon types can be weak against. There were some Pokemon that didn't have that many weaknesses that Fairy types helped balance. I am just appalled by some of these people's major stupidities. They are just... what? I am not really going to accept the fact that Genwunners seem really against Pokemon progressing. You guys do realize that the first generation didn't really have that many good sprites, but when the remakes came out, I could at least tell what a Pokemon was supposed to look like. I mean, the Vaporeon sprite looked like it had a mohawk before it was fixed to make it look, a little better, and to inform us it actually had a fin on top of its head that didn't go... And some of the sprites were also pretty much nightmare-fueled. Like Ekans, it just has like a big gaping mouth going, ah! Hold on. Ah! That would be freaking terrifying for me to see back in the day. Well, I am playing through Pokemon Red, the original version, because I have that. So, yeah. Anyway, major point is Genwunners Pokemon is going to evolve whether you like it or not. It only depends on if you guys are going to be willing to accept that Pokemon changes. Back then, the Pokemon designs were not that complex. You just take a simple concept and try to make it look a little different. Like the Poliwag line being based off of tadpoles with, clear inside so you can see the intestine. Krabby and Kingler were just literal crabs. Caterpie, Metapod, and Butterfree. A caterpillar, its cocoon, and a butterfly. Charmander was just a straight up lizard until it evolved into Charizard. And please, no more complaints about why it's a flying fire type. Squirtle's evolutionary line is just a bunch of turtles. Main point, Genwunners. I know you guys have been loyal fans to the Pokemon franchise for years now, but when times change, sometimes we do too. And that means you need to start learning how to accept Pokemon is starting to evolve, becoming more complex, and not as simple as the days when you were Ash's age of 10 years old back in 1995 playing Pokemon Red and Blue. Or Red and Green, depending on where you came from, because in Japan it was Red and Green. Here in the Westerns it was Red and Blue. Anyway, I just wanted to get some of those complaints out. Now they're out in the open. I'm Meloetta the Hedgehog, and see you later, my otakus and video game nerds. Bye-bye.